Good morning, fellow coffee lovers from Texas Hill Country. My name is Allenson. Wanted to share with you my collection of coffee mugs, or at least begin to share with you. This is not a professional video in any way, shape, or form. Merely a hobby that I picked up a few years back and something I've really enjoyed. And I don't have a huge coffee mug collection, but really enjoy doing it, really enjoy drinking coffee. Thought we could share in those experiences a little bit. And maybe some other stuff like food, drink, hot sauces, and maybe even eventually current events. Not politics, not getting into that garbage. There's enough of that going around right now to fill everybody's copper, but don't want nothing to do with it on this because this is an escape from all that. So anyway, thanks for checking this video out. Anyway, let's start off with this one. This is a coffee mug my kids got me a while back, probably on Father's Day, obviously, saying best dad ever. And inside, I'm actually drinking my morning coffee out of this. I don't know what the rules are or what the copyright infringements are for talking about companies and coffee producers and things like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and I'm not gonna say anything negative about any of them. Other than that, I would assume they would appreciate the advertisement. This is Tim Hortons dark roast that I've got in here. Tim Hortons out of Canada. And something I've been drinking lately that I enjoy. I enjoy drinking my coffee black. That wasn't always the case. I used to be a courier in my younger days where I worked for various companies ranging from law firms to travel agencies delivering airline tickets back when airline tickets were still printed. They would stuff them in an envelope and hand them to me, and I would jet off into the day all over the place, delivering them to various companies and clients and things of that nature. It was actually a really cool job when I was in my 20s because I was outside all the time. When I got done with my deliveries, I could do whatever I wanted until it was time for the next batch. It was amazing. Anyway, Tim Hortons in here, and this is a cool mug. It's got a black matte finish, as you can see. On the exterior, saying best dad ever, in the font there. And on the inside, you got the olive green coating, color-wise. And a nice big handle here. I've got pretty fat fingers, so any big handle is always appreciated, so I don't have to squeeze my fingers in. That's a rarity that I do have to do that, but cool mug to start with. Move on to another one here. This is a unique mug. This is currently the biggest mug I have in terms of capacity and size. I might have a bigger one stored away somewhere, but this is the biggest one I have out right now. This is a mug that my buddy Greg got me in northern Michigan, when I lived in northern Michigan, that comes from Alaska, where either he or he had a brother that worked up there for a while. And you can see this is a very detailed mug here that says Alaska in cursive font around the circumference of the mug. And it's got this excellent wildlife depictions with the moose, the wolf, the eagle, and the grizzly. And on the handle, this is a really unique feature, says the last frontier, which Alaska, of course, has always been known as, or the final frontier. But and just a basic white interior right there. But this is a big mug in terms of capacity, my biggest, and I don't know exactly what it is in ounces because that's not labeled on most of these. But this is one of my favorite mugs. I don't drink out of this often just because it's so big that unless you just put a little bit of coffee in there, the coffee will get cold fast before you can finish it. But an excellent mug and definitely one of my favorites. And miss all my buddies up in northern Michigan where I worked for 7 years. Michigan is where I'm originally from. We're living in central Texas now. We've been all over. We've lived in Illinois. I've lived in Georgia. We lived in Minnesota for 7 years. We lived in North Texas, up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I did middle and high school over in the Houston area. I'm from the Detroit area originally. I'm trying to think of any place else I've lived but can't at the moment. And so if I do, I'll let you know. Anyway, let's move on to the next mug. I've got a bunch of cool ones here. I collect mugs with state insignias and depictions on them. This is a really cool detailed mug out of Arkansas, which was one of our favorite places to visit and go hang out in while we lived in North Texas. It's a little far from here. It's 8 hours from where we live now, so it's harder to get up there from here. But up there it was only 4 or 5 hours, depending on where we were going. You can see it's got the Arkansas state flag. It's got the state outline in the background, and then the moniker of the natural state, which Arkansas is known as. Very cool, navy blue finish on the outside, Arkansas in cursive script, and then on the inside, you got another script of the natural state with the red interior. So this has got a lot going on here with this mug, and it's one of my favorites. Nice big handle. It's not big, it's average size actually, but fingers fit in there fine. Excellent mug. I collect sports memorabilia, and mostly in the form of mugs now. And we're in Texas, and not showing any favoritism to any teams here, but this is my Dallas Cowboys mug. I've collected a lot of sports memorabilia from a lot of teams in all the places we've lived, and won't go into where my allegiances lie because I've gotten involved with every fan base in any place I've lived and had a lot of fun doing so. So at this point in my life, I really don't have one team that I'm a diehard fan of, but I couldn't be any more involved in watching sports and following basically all of them now. So this is my Dallas Cowboys mug. I think I got this for Father's Day or my birthday one year. And the classic Dallas Cowboys star in big block font on the outside, and on the inside you got the Cowboys font there with some striping and a white interior. Very cool mug. And one other thing that's important to me with mugs, I like to have, if there's labeling, insignias, pictures, whatever, I like to have them on both sides, on two sides of the mug, which this one does. Because no matter what position I'm sitting in or who's around, I like everybody to be able to share in seeing the mug, and I like to be able to see what's ever on there. So that might be a trivial thing, but something I like on my mugs is to have insignias, labeling, pictures, whatever on both sides of the mug. Very cool mug. What else do we got here? Being in Texas, this is one of my most unique mugs, and people from here or who are familiar with the state will recognize this immediately. This is my H-E-B mug, H-E-B being the grocery store chain that is so wildly popular in Texas, and hands down the best grocery store I have ever been to. It's more like a shopping mall in there to me, just with all the cool stuff they have. They got, in addition to the food, they've got a great pharmacy section. They've got they got stuff in there. Let me put it that way, that you can buy things like this. They got, mats, outdoor mats for your door entryway, and just a lot of cool home decor stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, the H-E-B mug here, kind of very unique in that it's a square shape, and you can see the square top, which makes it a little bit of a challenge to drink out of. And the way I remedy that is I usually just go to the corner like this and tilt it back so I can drink right out of the corner here, so it won't spill over these even sides, because of course most coffee mugs are round, and you can drink out of any spot you want, but you got to choose your corner or choose your spot on this one a little more. If you try to drink like this from this part, you're going to probably spill it all over yourself. So, but very cool, square shape, very angular, and it's designed to look like the shopping carts, of course, or the baskets, and it's got an angular handle as well, which is also unique. And then on the inside, remember to add coffee to the list. Very important. So one of my coolest mugs, and a lot of these also you can't put in the dishwasher. This is one of them. You don't want to destroy the exterior at all, the labeling and the design, which can happen if you do that. So you got to be careful about which of these you put in the dishwasher, and the rest of them, of course, you're just going to hand wash. So here's one of my, I'm not going to show you all these today because I just wanted to do a introductory video, and if enough people watch it, then we'll continue with some other ones. This is one mug that I found somewhere on the trail, and I can't remember. I think it was in Minnesota. Minnesota has a lot of awesome antique shops and flea markets where you can find stuff like this. And we really enjoyed doing that. We lived in the Minneapolis-St. Paul vicinity for 7 years. And I found this somewhere along the trail down there. It's a Late Show with David Letterman mug. And I grew up watching David Letterman in the 80s. I remember when that show first came on, I think it was in 1982, where I would have been, somewhere around my early teenage years or so. And always loved David Letterman. So when I saw this, I had to get it. Just a basic Navy mug with the Late Show emblem on it and his name on there. Also Navy inside. Your basic handle. Nothing spectacular about the mug, but a treasured mug nonetheless because of the iconic status of that show. One of the best. They don't do it like that anymore. Let me put it that way. And it's a shame later, in the career, the politics come into things and all that. Back when I was young, politics, they joked about it, but it wasn't divisive. Everybody laughed and went on with their lives. Now, it's got to be a big brouhaha every time somebody even mentions, and I'm not even going to one side of the aisle or the other with any of this politically, because I don't want any political speak on here, but I'm tired of the garbage. But just throwing that in there. Anyway, one of my most treasured mugs. And now when it started, it was called Late Night with David Letterman, I believe. And then at some point, I think maybe when he switched networks, I think originally he was on NBC and then he went to CBS, if I'm not mistaken. I think when he went to CBS, they changed it to The Late Show, and I could be wrong about that, so correct me in the comments if I am. Anyway, let's do one more. I'll do one more here. I'm a big hot sauce fan. And that's something else we can talk about on here if enough people enjoy this, that I'll continue them. But here's my Tabasco coffee mug. And I think I found this somewhere along the trail in Minnesota as well. This is a shorter mug, height-wise, but nice and wide, good basic handle. It's got the white exterior with the Tabasco label, which is just totally iconic. Anybody who loves hot sauce, and even those who don't, will recognize that immediately because that's the most recognizable hot sauce insignia anywhere. Anybody who's ever been to the Waffle House or IHOP or basically any restaurant that always has that out will recognize that. Very, very cool mug and one of my favorites. Anyway, we'll stop there for now. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got plenty more to show you if enough people are interested. And just wanted to say God bless to everybody. Hope you're all, YouTube is a big thing, man. I mean, anybody, it's so crazy that anybody anywhere in the world with access to the internet could see this or anything else. But just want to wish God's blessings on all of you. It's a crazy world out there, and I hope this provided a little bit of a break for you from it. This is Aaron Allenson signing off from Texas Hill Country. God bless.